Apple just made its biggest AI move in years, and somehow the market reaction was brutal. More than $200 billion was erased from Apple's intraday market value after WWDC. The new Siri AI is reportedly tied to Google Gemini, and the EU won't even get it on iPhones at launch. But at the same time, this could be the Siri upgrade Apple users have been waiting for. So the real question is simple. Did Apple finally find its AI moment? Or did it just expose how far behind it really is? Alright, so at WWDC 2026, Apple introduced Siri AI, a rebuilt assistant meant to turn Siri from a basic voice tool into something much closer to a personal AI companion. And at this point, Apple clearly has a lot to prove. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Microsoft's Copilot ecosystem all moved fast, while Siri kept looking outdated inside one of the most powerful consumer tech ecosystems on Earth. Now Apple says Siri has been rebuilt from the ground up. The new Siri AI is powered by the next generation of Apple intelligence. Apple says it is conversational, personal, and deeply integrated. It can understand what is on your screen, search through your messages, emails, photos, calendar, contacts, and apps, answer questions using current information from the web, and keep conversations going across devices through a new dedicated Siri app. Old Siri was mostly about short commands: set a timer, call someone, send a message, check the weather. The new version is supposed to act like an intelligence layer inside Apple's ecosystem, where you can talk, type, ask follow-up questions, create plans, write text, find buried details, or explain what is already open on your screen. Craig Federighi made Apple's position clear during the keynote. He took a subtle shot at rival AI companies, saying some appear to be racing forward with AI for the sake of AI, without clear regard for the people the technology is supposed to serve. That is classic Apple. The company wants to frame its slower AI rollout as intentional, more private, safer, more useful, and better designed. Apple promised a smarter Siri around 2 years ago, then delayed it again and again. So this WWDC was Apple trying to prove that it still has a serious AI strategy. The first major feature is personal context. Siri AI can understand information from your own device and use it to answer personal questions. Apple gave examples like finding a restaurant recommendation someone sent you in messages, pulling a hotel confirmation number from an old email, or finding photos from a recent trip with friends and family. Reuters also reported that Siri can locate details like an address mentioned in a message, even if that address was never saved anywhere. This is where Apple should have a natural advantage. If Siri can privately understand your mail, messages, photos, calendar, contacts, notes, files, and reminders, it becomes more useful than a chatbot that only knows what you manually paste into it. Apple is also extending this through Spotlight. Developers can integrate third-party apps with Spotlight, and on iPad and Mac, Apple's traditional search bar becomes an AI access point for natural language questions, search, and actions. On iPhone, Siri is being redesigned around the dynamic island. Instead of the old glowing screen edge, users can swipe down from the dynamic island to type or start a conversation. You can still say, "Hey Siri," or use the side button, yet the experience now feels more like a chatbot living inside the phone. The dedicated Siri app is also important. Users can revisit older chats, start new ones, and continue across iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and Vision Pro. Apple says conversation history syncs privately through iCloud, moving Siri away from one-off voice commands and toward a cross-device AI workspace. Screen awareness is the next big piece. Siri AI can answer questions based on what is currently on your display. If you get a message about a potluck, Siri can help brainstorm what to bring and then add a recipe to notes. If you are looking at a file, image, web page, app, or selected text, Siri can explain it or help you act on it. On Mac, users can control-click images, files, or text and ask Siri about them. On iPad, visual intelligence is tied into screenshots. On Vision Pro, Siri can appear as a three-dimensional visualization in your space, and users can invoke it by looking at it and speaking. The iPhone camera app is also getting a Siri mode. You can tap the shutter button so Siri can see what you see and respond to the real world. Apple mentions splitting a bill with Apple Cash, getting nutritional information from food, and importing a card into Apple Wallet. Visual intelligence is also coming to iPad, Mac, and Vision Pro, so Siri is becoming multimodal. Writing is another major part of the update. Apple introduced Write with Siri, which lets users generate, edit, and improve text almost anywhere they type. In mail and messages, Siri can adapt to how you usually communicate with a specific person. If you normally send your manager short, direct bullet points, Siri can draft in that style. If your messages to a friend are more casual, Siri can adjust there too. Siri can draft emails, rewrite text, give document feedback, and proofread automatically across the system, including in many third-party apps. System-wide dictation is also getting better spelling, punctuation, capitalization, formatting, and natural speech recognition. Users can customize Siri's voice, pace, and expressiveness. This is where Apple's approach gets interesting. Apple avoids the loud AI agent branding that OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google often use. It presents Siri AI as a practical assistant that understands your life and helps with everyday tasks. Still, some demos clearly move toward agent-like behavior. PC Mag reported that Mike Rockwell, Apple's VP of Siri engineering, asked Siri about an upcoming concert, asked how to get tickets, and then told it to enter a lottery for tickets. That is closer to taking action than just answering a question. Analysts sounded cautious. Bob O'Donnell from Technalysis Research said this finally delivers on the promise of Siri from 15 years ago and called it AI for the masses. MoffettNathanson analyst Craig Moffett said the updates were not earth-shaking, although they could make Siri a credible chatbot and possibly a credible agent. And investors were clearly not blown away. Apple shares closed 1.9% lower at $301.54 after the keynote. The sharper number is even more dramatic. During the day, Apple traded as high as about $317 per share, then closed at $301.54. Depending on the share count used, roughly $230 billion was erased from Apple's intraday market value from the day's peak to the close. From the previous close, the drop was much smaller, closer to around $85 billion. So the accurate phrasing is that Apple lost more than $200 billion from the day's high, not from the previous day's close. That reaction was kind of unexpected because WWDC was supposed to reassure Wall Street that Apple can close the AI gap. Instead, the market response was cold, and one big reason is the Gemini story. Apple is branding this as Apple Intelligence, and it says Siri AI uses Apple Foundation models, on-device processing, and private cloud compute. At the same time, Reuters reported that some of Apple's models were built using Google's Gemini technology, while larger models will run in cloud infrastructure using NVIDIA chips. Business Insider also reported that Siri AI is powered through Apple's partnership with Google, and The Verge described Apple's new foundation models as developed in collaboration with Google. That creates an awkward perception problem. Apple spent years telling the world it had a different, privacy-first AI strategy. Then, when it finally revealed the new Siri AI, one of the biggest headlines became that Apple is leaning on Google Gemini under the hood. For investors, that can look less like Apple leapfrogging the market and more like Apple catching up by using technology from one of its biggest rivals. To be fair, using Gemini does not automatically make the product weak. Hybrid AI stacks are normal now. The issue is perception. Apple's brand is control. The chip, the hardware, the software, the privacy layer, and the ecosystem. So when the most important Siri upgrade in years appears partly tied to Google, people naturally ask whether Apple is leading in AI or packaging someone else's intelligence inside an Apple interface. Privacy is Apple's main answer. Apple says Siri AI uses a new architecture built around on-device models and private cloud compute. When requests need cloud processing, Apple says personal data is not stored and is not accessible to Apple or anyone else. Outside experts can verify these privacy promises, and the system orchestrator can use the Spotlight Index and App Toolbox on device to keep more personal information under user control. Still, the privacy issue is unavoidable because a useful Siri AI needs access to your screen, messages, emails, photos, calendar, and apps. That is the tension Paolo Pescatore pointed out. Apple has to prove smarter. AI does not mean less control over private data. The rollout is limited too. Siri AI is in developer testing across iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, and visionOS 27, with a user beta coming later this year in English on supported newer devices. And regionally, Apple has problems. Siri AI will not initially launch on iPhones or iPads in the EU because of Digital Markets Act concerns, and it will also be unavailable in China while Apple works through regulation. That delay created debate online. On Reddit, some users blamed the EU. Some people called it the weirdest WWDC they had watched in years. Others said Apple took a long time to say very little. A lot of criticism focused on the child safety section, which some viewers felt went on too long. One user joked that Apple said, as a parent, around 55 times. Apple also spent a lot of time on child safety updates. Parents will get stronger controls over apps, websites, and contacts, while Safari's new Ask to Browse feature lets children request access to websites the same way they already request app downloads. Messages and FaceTime will also blur graphic content for users under 18, including nudity, gore, and violent images, while screen time gets category-based limits for things like social media or games. Beyond Siri, Apple announced smaller AI upgrades across the system. Photos gets better, cleanup, image extension, and spatial reframing, while Image Playground can generate higher quality images, including photorealistic ones. Safari can check when products are back in stock, the Home app can describe and search security camera footage, and the Phone app can surface useful details like confirmation emails during business calls. Apple also rebuilt search across Spotlight, Photos, and Mail, added custom EQ for AirPods, refined liquid glass with a tint slider, expanded iCloud shared albums to Android and Windows users, and added health alerts for possible perimenopause or menopause symptoms in people 40 and older. Developers can try the new operating systems now. Public betas are expected around July, and stable versions should arrive in the fall. So Apple finally gave Siri the AI rebuild people were waiting for, and some of it genuinely sounds useful. But it is still beta, some major regions are delayed, investors reacted coldly, and the Gemini partnership leaves Apple with one uncomfortable question. Is it leading personal AI or packaging rival technology inside a cleaner Apple experience? Now Apple has to ship Siri AI in a way that actually works. Also, if you want more content around science, space, and advanced tech, we've launched a separate channel for that. Links in the description, go check it out. And that's where I'll leave it for now. Do you think Apple finally has a real chance to catch up in AI with Siri AI? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, leave a like, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.